Sorry to interrupt, but before I get started, I just remembered I could not show you this tab of the video. But the battery used is this 12-volt NIMH battery that is by IndyMark for GoBuilda, and I just wanted to point out this was the specifications. The height with 1.75, which is basically the depth, the length with 4.82 inches, and the width with 1.66 inches. If you did not know what I was talking about, I'm so sorry. But this is also compatible with CAD. You can actually download it and import it into CAD, which I can also show you in the next video. And now, well, let's get started. Hey guys, Young from Super77477. Today, we will be going over some of our basic tools in Onshape. Not all of them, but some of them. With these tools, we'll be making a battery box, which is just a simple box, but fit for your battery, so it doesn't fall out during a match in your FTC battle. So, for this tutorial, we'll be using a 12-volt NIMH battery. And for almost every battery you have in their website you buy them from, they should have their specific dimensions for their height, length, and width. And that is very, very useful for your CAD. So now let's create a new document. Let's tell it battery box. Wait for it to be created. Okay, so let's start working from our top plane. So now if you've been working through this, you know what you're doing. If you have no clue what Onshape is, I would recommend to go back to our first tutorial, and that will teach you so much things. So to begin with, we need to create a sketch. So there's literally a sketch icon that you can click. So to create a sketch, you need to click the plane you want to work on. So now I've already knew that I want to work on the top plane. So once you click sketch, click the top plane. If you want to work on top plane. If you want to work on the bottom plane, work on the bottom plane. Click the bottom plane. So now that we have our first sketch, to create a box, we need to know how big it is and how small it is. So right now, for just our box that has no depth, we want to know our length and our width. So you can go ahead and just, so you don't have to keep running back and forth, you want to write down that your length is 4.82 and then your width is 1.66. So now that you have those dimensions, you can go in and start your sketch. So our length is 4.82. Now it doesn't have to be exact. You want it to be just ever so slightly larger so you have that room, that wiggle room to put in and take out your batteries. So 1.66. Let's keep that at 1.7 and we can put this, we need to make it a bit more. And we can keep it at that. So that should be our battery box, just our little base. So now we need to make this into an actual box, but it won't have a top just yet. So to do this, we'll use something called the extrude tool. With the extrude tool, you will start to highlight this box that you just sketched out. So once we do this, you'll see that now it's turned into a box, but maybe it's not the right depth. So you can do this by clicking this white arrow and drag it up to make it up more and drag it down to drag it up down more. So now you can check the depth of how much height it has with the depth tool that says right when you extrude. So in extrude 1 you can check depth. Right now it's 0.72, but let's check in the website how much depth your battery has. So now for the depth, you want to take out the battery cleanly and not damage it. So you want to make it ever so lower, not higher than the actual battery. So the height is 1.75. We can go ahead and maybe do like a 1.65, which should just do the trick. 1.5 should just be enough. And now we have our perfect battery box. But wait, we do not have a top. But actually, we can just use the same extrude tool to do this. So now that we have this extrude tool, we take it and bring it back to the original height you had. And you're gonna click remove to remove that section. See, now that we're removing that part. But before we do that, you do not want to remove your entire box that you just had. So quickly click cloud at that and take a new sketch actually. And this is why we made our length and width ever so slightly bigger so that you can create a sketch to put your thing in. So click the top of your box and create a sketch like that. So I'm going to create a sketch just like that. And now we have a spot to put our battery in. So now we're going to take the extrude tool, click on that part, click remove, and then we're going to remove that part. So now we can see that we have an empty box perfectly fit for our battery. So this is your battery box, and maybe you want to create a hole. So to create a hole, now this hole will be for maybe you want to screw it down into your plate. Now you don't have to make a threaded hole because the screw will automatically thread the hole. So what you want to do is we need to put it at the bottom, right? So we'll click this and you're gonna create a new sketch. There you go. Now we have a sketch and there's gonna be something called the center point circle. You're gonna use that and now we can see we're making a mini hole. So whatever the size of your screw is, you can just make that size a hole. So let's say my screw is this like that big. Now using the circle, we click this and now we can just use the extruding tool. So click the circle, click extrude, and now we will click remove to remove and click the circle to know that you're using the circle tool. Now we accidentally clicked this, so I'm just going to bring that back up. Click the extrude icon and we're going to remove this exact part. Now we can just drag that down and now you see we have a perfect hole to place our screw through with a perfect infill, and now you can just repeat that for all four sides that align with your drivetrain. So that's it for this video. Hope this helped a lot.